There are touches that spark desire, and then there are touches that awaken something much deeper, something she can't explain, only feel, like a memory she never lived, but suddenly remembers. In a world flooded with loud gestures and aggressive moves, the most powerful connection often hides in the quietest act. A gentle touch anchored in presence, not performance. In this part of our journey, we'll explore the forgotten language of masculine stillness and why the softest hand, led by the strongest mind, can make her soul ache in silence. Because real intimacy doesn't begin in the bedroom, it begins in the fingertips of a man who doesn't need her to feel powerful. He already is. Number 1, she becomes emotionally soft around you, even if she's strong with everyone else. There's something paradoxical about feminine love. A woman who is fierce in the world can become strangely soft in the presence of one man. She's the one who commands attention at work, keeps her walls high in conversations, and guards her heart like a fortress. But when she loves you, truly loves you, those walls don't fall, they melt. Not because she's weak, but because your presence makes her feel so safe she doesn't need the armor anymore. She laughs a little easier, her voice becomes lighter, and in moments of silence, she doesn't rush to fill the space, she lingers there with you, content. This is not about her changing who she is. It's about her revealing a side of herself that only comes alive when she feels deeply connected, emotionally seen, and spiritually protected. Psychologically, this softening is her nervous system telling her, "This man is safe, I can rest." When a woman can rest in your presence, truly rest, she steps out of masculine tension and returns to her feminine essence. That's when her nurturing instincts awaken. That's when she begins to trust you with her deeper layers. And that's when she wants to give not out of obligation, but out of overflowing. You'll notice it in the way she touches you, in how her gaze softens even during disagreements, in how her strong opinions take a back seat to simply wanting to understand you. She doesn't need to prove herself anymore, because love, to her, no longer feels like a fight. It feels like coming home. And here's where Stoicism becomes your guide. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." When you master yourself, you allow her to release the need to control. You don't have to chase her softness. You become the stillness that invites it. So next time she's tough with the world, but gentle with you, don't question it, don't interrupt it, just hold it with presence. She's not just softening, she's trusting, and that is the most sacred thing she can offer. Now comment below. I become the stillness that awakens her softness. Number 2, she mirrors your energy in subtle, intimate ways. There's a moment quiet, almost imperceptible when you lean back and she does the same, when you slow your speech and so does she, when your breath deepens and hers begins to sync with yours. It's not conscious, it's not rehearsed, but it's powerful. This is what psychologists call limbic resonance, an unconscious mirroring of emotional states that happens only when someone feels deeply connected to you. When a woman truly loves you, she doesn't just listen with her ears. She listens with her nervous system. Her body aligns with your frequency not because she's trying to impress you, but because she feels safe being attuned to you. Watch for the small shifts. She adjusts her tone to match yours. She tilts her head the way you do. She starts to use phrases you commonly say. And in quiet moments, she doesn't need to talk. She simply exists with you like two waves harmonizing on the same current. In the Stoic worldview, this isn't manipulation, it's resonance. It's the evidence of two souls drawing close through emotional mastery and inner alignment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When your inner state is calm, grounded, confident, her emotions take on your color. Not because she's submissive, but because she trusts your leadership at a subconscious level. It's how feminine love responds to masculine presence. And the beauty of it is you don't have to do anything flashy. No need to chase, to prove, or to please. Your being becomes the strongest form of communication. When she mirrors your body language, it's not just flirtation, it's unconscious devotion. When her breath matches yours in silence, she's not just relaxing, she's bonding. So the next time you see her reflect you, don't brush it off as coincidence. Real love often hides in the smallest movements. And the more stoic you become, calm, intentional, unwavering, the more she mirrors not just your gestures, but your very energy. She becomes your echo, not because she lost herself, but because she found safety in you. Now, comment below. When I am grounded, her heart follows. Number 3, she wants to be led, even if she pretends not to. She might roll her eyes, cross her arms, say things like, "I can take care of myself," or "I don't need anyone." But the truth is deeper, because behind the strong posture, beneath the independence, is a silent yearning most women won't voice. She wants to feel your direction, not because she's weak, not because she's lost, but because in your leadership, she finds a deeper part of herself. In modern relationships, we're often told that equality means sameness, that no one should lead, no one should follow. But feminine energy doesn't respond to logic alone. It responds to presence, to certainty, to rhythm, and at its core, it longs to relax into the strength of a grounded man. She doesn't want control, she wants trust, and that trust is built when you step into your role as the emotional anchor of the relationship. This isn't about domination. It's not about barking orders or controlling choices. It's about subtle direction, saying, "We're going this way," with a tone that says, "You're safe with me." Examples? You don't ask 10 times where she wants to go. You say, "I've got something in mind." Dress comfortably. You don't spiral when she tests your mood. You hold steady and smile, knowing her emotional storms are not your responsibility to fix, only to weather. You don't shrink when she's loud. You remain calm, rooted, unmoved. Why does this matter? Because every time you lead with confidence, you give her permission to let go, to rest, to soften, to breathe. She doesn't want to be in charge all the time. She's just learned she has to be, because most men hesitate, but not you. The Stoic man understands this balance. As Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. When you know who you are, you don't ask for approval to lead. You simply walk the path and invite her into your frame. If she resists at first, it's okay. That's just the armor of a woman who's led herself for too long. But when you prove you won't fold, she'll follow without you ever asking. She'll lean in, she'll trust, and she'll love you in the way only a truly led woman can, with full devotion, an open heart, and undivided loyalty. Now speak out and comment below. I lead with presence, not pressure. Number 4, her tests are cries for safety. You think she's just being difficult. She's moody, hot, and cold. One day she clings to you, the next she pushes you away. She says things like, "Do you even care?" or suddenly becomes distant without warning. But here's the truth few men realize. She's not trying to confuse you. She's trying to feel safe. Her emotional tests, the drama, the doubt, the little provocations are not about attacking you. They are her subconscious asking, "Can I trust you to stay when I can't hold myself together? Will you lead when I crumble?" It's not logical, it's not fair, but it's real. And if you take it personally, if you react with anger or retreat into silence, you fail the very test meant to reveal your strength. Because in every test, she's unconsciously hoping you'll pass, that you'll hold firm when her emotions don't, that you'll remain grounded when her inner world is spinning out. A woman's tests are like waves. If you try to fight them, they'll drown you. If you fear them, you'll flee. But if you learn to surf, to ride them with calm and presence, she will open to you in ways you never imagined. When she accuses you, don't defend. Slow down, breathe, listen. When she shuts down, don't chase. Stay close, be still. Let her know your energy doesn't depend on her mood. When she says, maybe you should be with someone else, don't panic, don't beg. Look her in the eye and say, I'm not here to prove anything. I'm here because I choose you. Her feminine nature is fluid. She doesn't test to hurt. She tests to feel your edges, to see if they're strong enough to hold her. And if you flinch, if you get angry, withdrawn, or try to control her emotions, she no longer feels safe. She begins to doubt your strength and her desire for you fades. But when you pass her test with presence, not panic, when you welcome her chaos without being swallowed by it, she feels the one thing she's been craving all along. Security in your frame. This is the core of Stoic masculinity, as Marcus Aurelius wrote. Be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands unmoved, and the raging of the sea still falls around it. Be her rock, not her rescuer, not her mirror, not her emotional sponge, just her unshakable lighthouse, the place she returns to when everything inside her storms. Now, comment below. I stay grounded, even in her storms. Number 5, she's drawn to your mystery, not your transparency. You've been taught that honesty is everything, that opening up, completely telling her how you feel, what you fear, what you want, is how you build intimacy. But what if I told you that complete emotional transparency can actually kill attraction? Here's the paradox. She wants connection, yes, but not by seeing every crack in your armor, not by hearing your every anxiety the moment it arises, not by knowing your every move, thought, or plan. What she truly craves is your mystery, not because she wants secrets, but because she wants something deeper, a man whose inner world is so rooted, so deep, that she must earn the right to enter it. Too many men bleed out their emotions like confessions. They overshare in the name of vulnerability, not realizing that they're draining their masculine presence. They think saying, I feel so lost without you, I can't stop thinking about what you said, or I need your reassurance, will bring her closer. But what it actually brings is emotional pressure. It shifts the polarity. It places her in the role of caretaker, not lover, because feminine energy is drawn to what it can feel, but not completely grasp, to what is present yet not needy, open yet not spilling. She wants to explore you like a sacred book, one page at a time, not read your entire soul on the first night. She wants to be intrigued, to feel the gravity of your thoughts without needing to hear all of them. Your mystery is not manipulation. It's your sacred space, the space where you process pain with purpose, not panic, the space where you face your demons and emerge stronger, not shaken. When you speak, let your words be deliberate. When you share, let it be earned. When you feel chaos, let it move through you in silence until your words carry clarity, not confusion. A man who cannot hold his own chaos will eventually drown her in it. But a man who can stand in the fire of his emotions without crumbling or clinging, that man becomes unforgettable. The mystery you carry is not about withholding to control. It's about mastery. You don't owe her every thought. You owe her your presence, strong, quiet, powerful, like a mountain she can lean on without fearing it will crack. As Epictetus said, no man is free who is not master of himself. So stop giving everything away. Let her feel the depth of your stillness, not the noise of your fears. Now, comment below. I am not afraid to be mysterious. I lead with presence, not panic. Number 6. When you pull back with purpose, her soul leans in. She says she wants your attention. She says she wants more of you. She says, I miss you. Where have you been? But deep down beneath the surface of her words is a truth even she may not understand. She's most drawn to you when she feels your absence. Not because you disappear to play games, not because you ignore her to manipulate, but because your distance creates gravity, and gravity pulls her in. You see, many men mistake availability for value. They think that constantly being there, always texting back immediately, always asking what she wants, always proving their love is what keeps her close. But it doesn't. It overfeeds her. It floods her senses. It gives her no space to desire, because desire is born in space, in the ache of not knowing, in the stillness of waiting, in the silence between heartbeats. When you pull back with purpose, not out of fear, but out of self-respect, you allow her nervous system to reset, to miss you, to long for your touch, your energy, your voice. But there's a difference between pulling back with weakness and pulling back with strength. The first comes from resentment. I won't call her unless she calls me first. That's ego. That's still chasing, just in reverse. The second comes from clarity. I honor my time, my mission, my path. She is a part of my world, not the center of it. And that difference is magnetic. When a woman senses that you're not waiting for her call, not needing her validation, not pacing the floor hoping she'll reach out, but are instead fully grounded in your life, pursuits, purpose, and peace, her soul leans in. Because now being close to you feels like a gift, not an obligation. Now your presence feels sacred, not expected. In that space, she opens, she softens, she reaches out. Not because you demanded it, but because your self-mastery invited it. Remember this. You don't create desire by speaking louder. You create it by becoming the silence she can't ignore. So take space when needed. Step back without guilt. Let her feel the weight of your absence, not as punishment, but as a reminder that your presence has value. As Marcus Aurelius said, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." Harmony doesn't chase, it attracts, it invites, it leads. Let her come to you not because you begged for love, but because your soul became a lighthouse she couldn't look away from. Now, comment below. I pull back with strength. My absence speaks louder than need. Number 7. Why her tests are actually hidden invitations to lead. She rolls her eyes when you speak. She questions your decisions. She pushes back harder than before. You think she's being difficult, maybe even disrespectful. But what if it's not rebellion? What if her defiance is actually a cry for leadership? You see, most men misunderstand the emotional tests women give. They think it's drama, manipulation, punishment. But the truth is deeper, more ancient, more instinctive. She tests you not to break you, but to find your edges, to know. Will you bend under pressure? Will you lose your frame the moment she challenges it? Or will you stay calm, rooted, unshaken? Because if you collapse, if you try to appease her with weak smiles and softer voices, she doesn't feel safe. She doesn't feel held. She doesn't feel led. And in her core, she wants to be led, not controlled, not dominated, but guided by a man who knows who he is. When she challenges you with words like, "Why are you always like this?" Or "You never listen to me," or "Maybe I should just do things my way," what she's really asking is, "Can I trust you to hold your center when I can't hold mine?" Because her tests are not about logic, they're about emotional stability. And the man who passes those tests is not the one who tries to solve her feelings. It's the one who feels no need to defend himself. He listens. He stays present. And when he speaks, it's not from fear, but from stillness. It could sound like, "I hear that you're upset. I'm not here to fight you. I'm here to understand." Or sometimes just silence and steady eye contact is enough to say, "I will not be moved by storms." And suddenly, the storm calms. Not because you silenced her, but because your presence gave her nothing to resist. This is the paradox. She pushes hardest when she wants to be pulled in. When she argues, it's often a subconscious plea. Please don't let me lead this dance. I need to feel your rhythm. So don't see her tests as war. See them as sacred invitations. Invitations to lead, to stay grounded, to embody the kind of strength that doesn't need to prove itself. That is masculine power. That is Stoic love. As Epictetus wrote, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. So when she tests you, thank her because she's giving you a moment to show her what kind of man you really are. Not with words, but with energy, stillness, and leadership. Now, comment below. I lead through storms. I pass her tests in silence. Number 8. The unexpected power of gentle touch and why it makes her addicted. It's not the touch that excites her, it's what's hidden behind it. Because when a man touches a woman without needing her, without grasping, rushing, or craving, he touches something far deeper than skin. He touches her nervous system, her subconscious, her feminine core, and that is where the addiction begins. You see, most men touch like beggars. They're either too eager hands wandering before presence arrives, or too timid touching like they're asking for permission to exist. But when you touch her from stillness, when your fingers land with presence, not performance, you send a message deeper than words. I see you, I feel you, I do not need to take because I already have. A gentle touch on the small of her back, on the curve of her neck, on her wrist as she's speaking, can ignite more longing than an entire night of trying too hard. Because it's not about pressure, it's about perception. She feels when your energy is grounded, when you're not seeking approval or outcome. When your touch is not a transaction, but a transmission of calm confidence. Like water resting on stone. Like fire that doesn't need to burn to be felt. And that is when she melts. Not because the touch itself is magic, but because the energy behind it is sacred. It tells her, I am here. I'm not rushing. I'm not escaping. I'm with you now. Most men skip this part. They chase pleasure. They forget presence. But women are wired differently. For them, safety precedes surrender. And the man who masters gentle touch, not as technique, but as truth, becomes unforgettable. Because he becomes the one her body remembers, even when her mind tries to forget. So the next time you're with her, don't rush, don't perform. Place your hand somewhere quiet, be still, breathe. Let your energy say, you don't need to impress me, you're already mine. And she will feel it, not in her mind, but in her breath, her skin, her soul. As Marcus Aurelius once reflected, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. So let your thoughts be steady. Let your touch carry silence, and you will paint her world with your presence. Now speak out and comment below. My touch calms her soul before it excites her skin. When you learn to touch without needing, to hold without gripping, to lead without speaking, you unlock a part of her that even she was afraid to feel. Not every man gets there, but the few who do become etched into her nervous system like a secret only her body remembers. She may forget your words, but she'll never forget the stillness of your touch, the way your hand said, I see you. You're safe. You don't have to pretend anymore, and maybe, just maybe, that's the most masculine thing you could ever give her. Now speak out and comment below. My touch calms her soul before it excites her skin.